What is going on, guys? Grave here. Today we're going to talk about two more games that was kind of my best of E3. And the first game we're going to talk about is going to be Gears of War 4. Gears of War was a very, very good series to me years ago. The very first two Gears of War games I absolutely loved. It's kind of like Halo now. It's changed hands. New company has taken over. It's kind of gone away to me from what it would really started out as. And that kind of hurt the series in a way. But I think Gears 4 is looking to kind of bring that series back to where it used to be. To me, I'm not a huge fan of the multiplayer. I have played it. It's not my favorite. I don't hate it. I don't love it. So I'm not really going to comment too much on that. But to me, I played Gears games for the story. The story was always phenomenal. It was always creepy. It was always kind of dark and grim. And Gears 4 looks to bring that kind of dark, grim creepiness back to the story. Like I said, I don't really play the multiplayer, to like a game that I just love to play. I really enjoy Call of Duty games, really enjoy Battlefield games, I enjoy Halo, that kind of thing. Gears was just kind of like up in the air for me, multiplayer-wise. I know during the beta of the multiplayer, a lot of people were kind of saying that it was good. Some people said it was kind of reminding them of an older game, back from years ago. It really hadn't advanced a lot. So it was kind of mixed feelings, I know about that. But story-wise, I think this game is shaping up to be a great, great story. And if you're an Xbox owner, of course, Gears is always an Xbox exclusive, and it's always a game, in my opinion, worth kind of picking up in years past. But the last couple installments have not been that great, but I think this one will bring the kind of creepy, grim, scary shooter back to kind of where it started at, kind of its roots, and I think that is a good thing. So I think it'll definitely be a game looking for a lot of people to pick up. And, of course, it comes out in this fall also. There's a lot of big shooters coming out in the fall. That's kind of added to that Battlefield list, to that Titanfall list, and of course the one we're about to talk about now, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I cannot believe that I'm putting this in my top games from E3, but this actually looks to be a good campaign. I'm not sold on the multiplayer yet. We still don't know a whole lot about the multiplayer just yet, but the more and more they've shown about the campaign, the more and more interested I've kind of become. I think it's not going to be probably one of the best games campaign-wise Call of Duty has had, but I think it's going to kind of differ. Something about the game when I see gameplay of it just kind of feels a little bit different. I'm sure it's still going to be that over-the-top, crazy Hollywood blowing up, kind of scenes that we've always come to expect from Call of Duty. But some of the better COD campaigns were some of the original games, and this is kind of getting back to me to those games. And plus, Infinity Ward has always been known for making a good single-player story. Of course, if you buy the more expensive edition of this game, you will get COD 4 with it, and that's another great, great game. If you've never played COD 4, you need to buy it just to play the single-player of COD 4. It's an absolutely phenomenal single-player. And, of course, multiplayer-wise, we all know a lot of people are going to be playing COD 4. Is Infinite Warfare going to pan out in the multiplayer world? We really don't know yet. We know it's going to kind of have a similar movement to Black Ops 3, whether that's going to be boost packs or wall running or who knows what. Not exactly sure just yet. I think it's going to be kind of more of a ramped up, vamped up, I guess I would say Infinity Ward's version of Black Ops 3. It's not going to be the same. It'll have that Infinity Ward feel, but I think it'll kind of compare to how Black Ops 3 played also. Like I said, I think the main seller for this game, of course, still is COD 4. I'm looking forward to that, but I do think that Infinite Warfare has a good-looking campaign. Anyway, guys, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about both of these games. Of course, if you'd like to hit the like and subscribe to it, please do so. I'll catch you